What's up everyone, welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I'll be giving you my official predictions for Boruto Naruto Next Generations Chapter 54 of the manga. So, in my Chapter 53 review video, I talked about a couple of things that I thought could happen, a couple of scenarios, but in this video, I'm going to tell you what I actually think is going to happen. So, in my Chapter 53 review, I said that I thought the strongest possibility would be the fact that Ishiki actually did implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. Even though he implanted it on his clone, I thought that Kawaki probably actually ended up getting it, but just not noticing it. I'm completely against that now. I completely abandoned that theory. I don't think that's happening. So, yeah, I actually don't think that's happening anymore. What I actually do think is going to happen, because we already know Kawaki is going to get the Karma Seal again. So what I actually do think is going to happen is I think Momoshiki is going to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. So, yeah, that's what I do see happening. But keep in mind, if either one of those things come out, if either one of those scenarios happen, just know I actually talked about both of these scenarios in my Chapter 53 review video. I said that either Momoshiki is going to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki, and that's how he's going to end up having it in a flash forward sequence, or Ishiki actually did successfully implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki, even though he did it on his clone, but it probably went to Kawaki. I talked about both of those scenarios, and I said I think those are both possibilities in my Chapter 53 review video. So, if either one of those scenarios happen, just know that I actually did predict both of those scenarios. So, I'm going to actually take credit if either one of those end up being right. And I think I did talk about some other possibilities as well, but I think those two are... I said I thought Kawaki getting the Karma Seal from Ishiki actually did happen. Like I said, I'm completely against that now. Now I think Momoshiki is going to be the one to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. Because the whole thing with the clone, I don't see that happening anymore. Mainly because we actually seen the Karma Seal actually vanish into the air. Or, we seen it like come off of Kawaki's body. We seen the Karma Seal that Ishiki implanted on Kawaki. We seen it actually come off of his... Well, not necessarily his body, but his shadow clone. We actually seen it come off of the skin of his shadow clone in exactly the same way that we seen Kawaki lose the Karma Seal the first time. When he lost the Karma Seal the first time, it actually basically rose up and came off of his body. That's exactly how it happened to the clone. So with that being said, I do not think Ishiki implanted the Karma Seal on Kawaki. Now this is a huge swerve that a lot of people wasn't predicting. A lot of people was predicting that Ishiki was going to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki successfully. And myself, I was included in that. However, the fact of the matter is, like I said in my Chapter 53 review video, so if this does happen, I'm taking credit for it because I said it in my Chapter 53 review video. Momoshiki is most likely going to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. So that's why I see it happening. I honestly think, well, technically Momoshiki is in control of Boruto's body right now. I think Momoshiki is going to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. Now, another thing this proves is, it proves that I was actually right about something. So yeah, I'm gonna give myself credit because I was right about something that happened in the flash forward sequence. I was right about something that happened there, and what I was right about was a lot of people, and some people was even trying to debate me about this, but a lot of people was saying that Ishiki was actually controlling Kawaki in the flash forward sequence. All of those people who said that, all of those people who were saying that I was wrong and trying to debate me about that, all of you guys are wrong. Okay. I'm the one who got proven right about that. Ishiki is not controlling Kawaki in the flash forward sequence. That's not happening. The only way that's actually going to happen is if Ishiki actually implanted the Karma Seal on Kawaki, and I'm telling you right now, he actually didn't implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. Because after I reread the chapter a couple times, I noticed that what happened with Kawaki's Karma Seal on his shadow clone, it actually disappeared in the same way that it did when he first lost the Karma Seal that he got from Ishiki. And not only that, I just don't think it's necessarily likely or even possible for a shadow clone, just because a shadow clone got the Karma Seal implanted, I don't think that's going to implant on Kawaki's real body. I don't see that happening at all. Especially since the shadow clone didn't disappear. Well, first of all, the Karma Seal started to come off the shadow clone before the shadow clone disappeared. So, yeah, it didn't go to Kawaki. Like I said, I think Momoshiki is the one who implanted the Karma Seal on Kawaki, and if that's true, that means all of the people who was theorizing that Kawaki was actually controlled by Ishiki in the flash forward sequence, all of those people who said that, you're wrong. And it was even some people who was trying to debate me on that. So like I said, I ended up getting proven right. Kawaki is not controlled by Ishiki in the flash forward sequence. And if you want to say, well, maybe he's controlled by Momoshiki, no. for Momoshiki to be controlling Kawaki and Boruto, or one of them when he has the karma seal on both of them, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, Kawaki and Boruto, they're themselves. And also, I said this in what was the video? I think it was one or two. It was one of two videos. It was either my video where I said what is happening here, and I was talking about the flash forward sequence. Actually, yeah, I think it was that video. So I might link that video in the description so you guys can go check that out, and probably even a pinned comment. But I'm pretty sure in that video I said that I think Momoshiki, I said that I think Boruto and Kawaki were both in control of their bodies, and I said that I think they were themselves in the flash forward sequence, and I also said that I think they're going to find a way to tame or basically gain control of the Otsutsuki that's controlling them. So in this case, Momoshiki is probably controlling both of them, which that's a very cool thing, a very unique. First of all, a lot of people didn't predict that Momoshiki was actually going to implant the karma seal on Kawaki, but now that Ishiki is actually dead, and I know I said that he's not 100% confirmed to be dead in my chapter review video. No, he's actually dead, because we actually seen his body crumbling and stuff. His body was breaking like he was a destroyed statue or whatever. His fingers started falling off. His body started to crumble. And Kawaki actually stepped on him and he turned into dust. He's actually dead. And I think he's actually confirmed 100% to be dead. Now, technically, it wasn't actually stated that he's dead, but I'm pretty sure it's basically confirmed that he's dead. So, yeah. And getting back to what I was saying, I think I said and like I said, I'll have this video linked in the description where I was talking about the flash forward sequence. I'm pretty sure in that video I said that Boruto and Kawaki are going to find a way to take control of their Otsutsuki, the Otsutsuki that's controlling them inside of their body. Now, this actually makes more sense now as far as what's happening in the flash forward sequence, because Boruto and Kawaki, most likely, they're both going to be Momoshiki's vessel. So if one of them figures out how to tame Momoshiki, the other one is probably going to tame Momoshiki fairly easy by doing the exact same thing. Or possibly the other one who won't even need to figure out how to suppress Momoshiki and prevent Momoshiki from taking control of their body, because once one of them do it, the other one is probably not going to have that problem anymore. And Boruto's most likely going to be the one to do it since he's been Momoshiki's vessel for a longer period of time. Now, another possibility that could happen, but I definitely do not see this happening, but I'm just going to throw this possibility out there, and if I end up being right about this possibility, I'm going to take credit for it. So another very slim possibility, like I said, that I do not see happening is Kawaki getting a karma seal from a different Otsutsuki clan member. It's a possibility, but I highly doubt it's going to happen. But like I said, it's still a possibility. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into the other stuff that I think is going to happen in the next chapter. So Kawaki is going to get the karma seal implanted on him by Momoshiki, who is technically controlling Boruto's body right now. So technically, Borushiki, or whatever you want to call him, I'll call him Boruto in his karma seal version 2 state, controlled by Momoshiki. He's going to implant the karma seal on Kawaki sometime in the future. It may happen in chapter 54 or chapter 55, but I see it happening very, very soon. Borushiki is going to implant the karma seal on Kawaki. Now, what's going to happen to Naruto and Sasuke? So, another thing that I noticed is Sasuke gave Boruto the same headband that he wore when he fought Momoshiki. Basically, the headband that was originally Sasuke's headband that he lost at the Final Valley, and then Naruto gave it to him at the end of, I think it was chapter 699. Naruto gave it to him after the war arc and stuff. That same headband, Boruto is wearing that headband now. And he also wears that same headband in the flash forward sequence. And the thing is, it already has one line going through it horizontally, but that scratch that was going through it horizontally, that's the same scratch that Naruto put on the headband when he first fought Sasuke in the Final Valley. So that scratch was already there. But it's also another scratch going up his headband vertically, and that scratch is going to have to be put on Boruto's headband. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Boruto is currently wearing his headband now. What I think is going to happen is Sasuke is going to cut Boruto, and he's basically going to, because Boruto is being controlled by Momoshiki at this point. Sasuke is going to cut Boruto's, and it's going to go right through his headband, and it's going to cut his eye as well. That's how he's going to get that scar on his eye. I think that's going to be happening very, very soon, possibly even the next chapter. Now, what's going to happen to Sasuke? Unfortunately, I hate to be saying this and I hate to be predicting this, but unfortunately, it seems like Sasuke might actually die very soon in Boruto. And he is my favorite character in all of fiction, hands down. I do not want Sasuke to die at all. I hope he doesn't die. I would actually prefer Naruto to die, and not because I don't like Naruto. Naruto is literally my second favorite character in all of fiction behind Sasuke. So I don't want Naruto to die, and I don't want Sasuke to die. I just think Naruto dying would be better for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it would technically generate more hype for the Boruto series. Like, Sasuke, don't get me wrong, he's definitely, as a matter of fact, I actually looked this up on Google Trends. Sasuke is actually more popular as a character technically on Google Trends, according to that, which is basically like Google searches and stuff. Sasuke is actually more popular than Naruto worldwide. But Naruto being the main character of the franchise, him dying is probably going to generate even more hype, despite the fact that Sasuke is actually technically more popular than him. So, but not only that, but also Naruto's already had a lot of time to shine, and both Naruto and Sasuke, both of them has had fantastic character development in the original Naruto manga, and even in Boruto they've had great character development. But Naruto, they've done justice to Naruto. They gave him a new power up with the Kurama thing. They gave him a new power up. They did Naruto justice. They gave him a whole new power up, a whole new transformation. Naruto has not been nerfed at all. I know a lot of people are saying Naruto and Sasuke are nerfed. No, Sasuke's the one who's been nerfed. Sasuke hasn't used any genjutsu. He hasn't even tried to use genjutsu. And there's some people saying, well, Ishiki's dojutsu is probably going to be able to counter genjutsu. First of all, that's headcanon, because there's no factual proof or any evidence to indicate that Ishiki's dojutsu would be able to counter a Sharingan/Rinnegan based genjutsu. There's no evidence to indicate that. So the fact that Sasuke hasn't even tried to use genjutsu on Ishiki, that proves how freaking nerfed he is, because genjutsu is literally one of the most OP abilities in Naruto. It's literally mind control. And the fact that Sasuke hasn't even tried or attempted to use such a powerful ability, that goes to show you how nerfed he is. And even if you want to throw in, well, Ishiki has dojutsu, I just debunked that whole little headcanon theory as to why genjutsu wouldn't work on Ishiki, because it's actually headcanon. There's no proof for it. But even if you were to use that weak argument, I will also say, why didn't Sasuke use genjutsu on Jigen? Jigen didn't actually have the Byakugan or any dojutsu at all. So, and Sasuke, that was actually before Sasuke knew he was a, well, actually, no, it might have been, well, Sasuke probably had the idea that he had Aotsutsuki, or that he was Aotsutsuki because he's seen a horn on his head. But still, he didn't even try to use it on Jigen, and Jigen had no dojutsu. So, Sasuke's been blatantly nerfed. Naruto hasn't. Naruto has literally gotten new power-ups. Now, technically, he hasn't used his truth-seeking orbs, but that doesn't mean he's not nerfed. I mean, that doesn't mean he's nerfed just because he hasn't used his truth-seeking orbs. Which, from what I've heard, but I gotta go and check this out myself. But from what I heard, Naruto's truth-seeking orbs never regenerated in the manga. Now, in the anime, his truth-seeking orbs did come back. Like, I think he lost like 3 of them initially, or he probably lost all of them. But and then in the final battle against Sasuke, they actually started to reappear and stuff, or they actually appeared again or something like that. But in the manga, from what I've heard, his truth-seeking orbs never regenerated. So basically, according to the manga, Naruto's truth-seeking orbs, once he uses it one time, or basically if he loses one of his orbs, they don't come back. So that could explain why he hasn't used his truth-seeking orbs. But that's based off of what I heard from the manga. I'm not saying that's confirmed, because I actually haven't went back and checked on that. So I might do a video talking about that later. But first of all, just because he hasn't used his truth-seeking orbs doesn't mean he's nerfed. He literally got a whole power-up, which was the Baryon mode. So he's not nerfed at all. You can't even say Naruto's nerfed. Sasuke, on the other hand, hasn't gotten proper justice. He's first of all, he's been nerfed, not just with the genjutsu thing, but he really hasn't used all of his Rinnegan abilities. He's only used 2 of the paths of the Rinnegan, which is the Preta path, which he used to absorb chakra, and the Deva path, which he used to take advantage of attractive and repulsive forces, like utilizing the Almighty Push or the Universal Pull. Those are the only 2 paths of the Rinnegan that he's used, and he actually has 6 paths of the Rinnegan. So Sasuke's been blatantly nerfed. And all of this, I say all of this basically because I'm saying, this is why I would prefer Sasuke to stay alive as opposed to Naruto, because I think they need to do Sasuke some justice. Have him have an individual fight against maybe Code. Now, I don't think Code is going to be strong enough to fight Sasuke, but I think they need to do Sasuke some justice. Give him some power. He actually doesn't even need a power up. They just need to stop nerfing him, because he's been blatantly nerfed throughout all of Boruto. Naruto, that's not the case with Naruto. So Naruto dying, I would be madder if Sasuke died than Naruto. I'll be sad if either one of them died because I love both of those characters. But I think they definitely need to do some justice to Sasuke in terms of power. And also, getting on this Sasuke topic, since I'm on this topic, a lot of people has been downplaying Sasuke, saying that he's been useless or he hasn't been doing much in this Ishiki fight. Anybody who says that is absolutely insane. They're not reading the manga, and if they are reading the manga, there's something wrong with their comprehension problem. I mean, they got a comprehension problem because Sasuke literally, he's been a key factor, and he's one of the main reasons why they've even lasted this long in the fight against Ishiki. Him swapping places and doing all that switching and swapping and stuff like that. First of all, he literally saved Boruto's life. He saved Boruto's life by doing all that switching and swapping around and stuff. And he also saved Kawaki from getting the karma seal. So cut out the nonsense. Anybody who making those nonsensical claims that Sasuke has been useless and everybody making fun of Sasuke, stop it. Sasuke has been nerfed. That's factual. He's been nerfed. But he has not been useless at all in this fight. He's been contributing to the fight drastically. And he's actually the main reason why Kawaki doesn't have the karma seal right now. So, unfortunately, with all of that being said, I do think Sasuke is most likely going to die pretty soon. And he's most likely going to die after he scratches basically after he gives Boruto that scratch on his right eye and, you know, over his headband, because he's probably going to put the headband back on. I mean, he's technically wearing it around his neck, but all he got to do is put it on his forehead, and then he's going to get that scratch from Sasuke going down his headband all the way down his right eye, the same scratch that he had in time for the flash forward sequence. Then, so I think that's going to happen. Sasuke's going to die. Boruto's going to get that scratch, that little scar that he had in the flash forward sequence. He's going to get that from Sasuke, and then Sasuke is going to get killed by Momoshiki. And then after Sasuke gets killed, unfortunately, it's an unfortunate prediction. Like I said, I hope it doesn't happen. But once that happens, after that happens, Momoshiki is going to implant the karma seal on Kawaki. Now, as far as what's going to happen to Naruto, I think Naruto is going to get sent to another dimension by Kawaki. I know in one of my previous reviews, I think it was my last chapter 53 prediction video, I think I said something like, I think Kawaki is going to send Naruto to that dimension, Ishiki's pocket dimension. And somebody in my comment section, they was like, bro, you can't send human beings to that dimension. You can only send, I think he said, inanimate objects, or basically things that aren't living, to that dimension. I got to go back and research and actually figure out if he was right about that, because he actually might be right about that. But anyways, it doesn't matter at this point, because Kawaki is probably not going to have access to that dimension anyways, because like I said, I think he's going to get the karma seal from Momoshiki. So Kawaki, he's still going to send Naruto to another dimension, I think. And the reason I say that is because in a flash forward sequence, he told Boruto, I'm going to send you to where I sent the 7th. So I think Kawaki is going to send Naruto to another dimension. Now, I think the last thing I got to cover is why didn't Naruto die from his Baryon mode? A lot of people have been criticizing that, or I think I've seen a little bit of criticism about that. Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, Kurama, he literally said, now when he first was talking about the Baryon mode, he said the transformation would kill Naruto. Yes, he did say that. But later on, I believe in chapter 52, Kurama said that either him or Naruto would die. One of those two would die. Not both of them. One of them would die from the Baryon mode. So the fact that Naruto's alive must mean the Nine Tails died. Kurama died, not Naruto. So Naruto did not die from the Baryon mode, and the Nine Tails actually did die. So there's actually nothing wrong with that. It was actually explained in the chapter. Now, if you wanna gripe on the fact that Kurama said that Naruto, you would die from using this mode, no, because look, he literally said in the next chapter, chapter 52, and I'm most likely gonna have the exact panel on the screen where he actually said it. He said, either one of us is going to die from this transformation. That doesn't mean both of them. That means one of them. So the Nine Tails most likely die from the transformation, the Baryon mode transformation. I know in my chapter 53 review, I said I think the reason why Naruto didn't die from it is because of Ishiki. Ishiki actually punched him out of the transformation before the transformation could kill him. Now, that could be a possibility. Now, if that was the case, that would be a very, very weak scenario. And I wouldn't consider that to be a valid explanation as to why Naruto didn't die from the Baryon mode. The only valid explanation that they can go with is Naruto, or not Naruto, the Nine Tails actually died from the Baryon mode because, like I said in chapter 52, Nine Tails said either him or Naruto is going to die from the mode. So the best scenario to go with is the Nine Tails actually died from the Baryon mode, and that would explain why Naruto didn't die from it, because the Nine Tails said either him or Naruto would die from it. Now, with all of that being said, I also think and a lot of people been complaining about Naruto and Sasuke being nerfed in the manga. Naruto hasn't really been nerfed at all. I mean, like I say, he literally got a power up. Sasuke has been nerfed. But what I will say is the fact that Kishimoto took control of this manga and the fact that he had Boruto take out Sasuke's Rinnegan, I think that's an actual logical way to nerf Naruto and Sasuke in a valid way. What I think Kishimoto is doing right now is I think he's nerfing Naruto and Sasuke in a logical, valid way. Before, when they were being nerfed, it was illogical the way they were being nerfed. When Kodachi was writing the manga, and by the way, I have no qualms against Kodachi. I think he did a fantastic job with writing the manga, even though he was writing it under Kishimoto's supervision. So Kishimoto was still supervising it. But either way, Kodachi did a great job. I'm not trying to knock him. But what I will say is the ways that he nerfed Naruto and Sasuke were really illogical. But the way Kishimoto nerfs Naruto and Sasuke is an actual logical way to nerf them. Like when he nerfed Naruto and Sasuke in the Naruto Gaiden manga, the 10-chapter Gaiden manga, the reason he nerfed Sasuke, he gave a valid explanation to why Sasuke was weaker. And it was because he was going in and out of dimensions. He was traveling through time-space and traveling through dimensions, which caused, it basically drained his chakra, and it prevented him from being able to use the Rinnegan. That's an actual logical way to nerf Sasuke. And it was actually the same way that Kaguya, she was losing a lot of chakra when she was going in and out of dimensions. So it makes sense. It actually makes sense the way he was nerfed there. And Naruto was just rusty. But in this case right here, what it seems like Kishimoto is doing, it seems like he actually killed off the Nine Tails. Meaning Naruto's strongest form of, like his strongest power, his biggest power source is the Nine Tails. Without a doubt. That's where the majority of Naruto's power comes from, is the Nine Tails. Now that the Nine Tails is most likely dead, that means Naruto is probably most likely not even a Jinchuriki anymore. Now, for those of you who say, well, if he's not a Jinchuriki, why is he still alive? First of all, he didn't have the Nine Tails actually extracted from him. That's how Jinchuriki actually die, when they have tail beasts extracted from them. In this case, the Nine Tails wasn't actually extracted from Naruto. He just died while he was still sealed inside of Naruto, most likely. So that could be why Naruto is still alive. Also, there's the fact that he's a Uzumaki, and we all know Uzumaki, they have strong life force, and Kushina, after Kushina got the Nine Tails extracted, she still survived from that. So, all of this stuff could make logical sense depending on how it's explained in the next chapter as far as Naruto's Baryon mode go. So, I think it makes a lot of sense that Kishimoto took out the Nine Tails from Naruto, which is Naruto's biggest, most valuable asset. And he also took away Sasuke's Rinnegan. Now, I know I said in my review, Chapter 53 review, that I think Sasuke could possibly regenerate his Rinnegan if he summons the King of Hell, which is a Rinnegan ability that he actually has access to because it's one of the Sage of Six Paths. I mean, not the Sage of Six Paths. It's one of the Six Paths techniques. Yeah, I did say that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kishimoto is blatantly trying to nerf Sasuke. But what I will say is at least he's nerfing Sasuke in a logical way, the way he's doing it. But there is still the possibility that Sasuke could actually summon the King of Hell. He's never done that before in the series, but if he actually did do that, it could actually heal his Rinnegan and actually give him another arm. Or he could use the Ashura Path, and if you guys don't know what the Ashura Path is, go watch the Pain arc. But the Ashura Path is that basically that Path of Pain and the Pain arc that had all of those different arms and stuff. He had like 6 different arms and like 3 heads. Sasuke could actually do exactly what that Path of Pain did, and he can recreate another arm for himself. As a matter of fact, he can create like 6 arms if he wanted to, because that's the ability of the Rinnegan. And he can also recreate a Rinnegan for himself because, you can have extra heads with that Ashura Path. So that's also something to take notice of, to keep in mind. But I don't think that's going to happen because I think Kishimoto intentionally is trying to nerf Naruto and Sasuke, but at least he did it in a valid way. So, with all of that being said, is that all I got to say? I know this is a long video, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to like all this stuff that I'm talking about. But I think I actually had one more thing on my mind, but I think it actually slipped my mind, unfortunately. So, it was something about Sasuke. But, yeah, I don't see Sasuke getting his Rinnegan back. But, yeah, unfortunately, let me just go run through all of the predictions one more time. Number 1, Sasuke is going to cut. Well, Boruto's going to put his headband on, the one that he has around his neck currently. He's going to put his headband on. He's possibly going to do that because I think I think Boruto is going to briefly regain consciousness and try to stop Momoshiki from doing what he's doing. And stop Momoshiki from attacking Naruto, Sasuke, and Kawaki. That's what I think will happen. And when Boruto briefly regains consciousness, he's going to put that headband on that he has over his neck. Around his neck. He's going to put that on his forehead. And when that happens, Sasuke is going to cut Boruto. He's going to cut Boruto's face. And that's how Boruto is going to get that scar over his right eye. And that scar going down his headband. And then, possibly, Borushiki might kill Sasuke after that. Might. Sasuke dying, I think that's the prediction that I'm not 100% sold on, but I think it's a possibility. But, all of this stuff that I'm talking about is my official prediction still, but Sasuke is the thing that I have the least amount of confidence in as far as him dying. Because if Boruto actually regains consciousness and stop Momoshiki from doing what he's doing, he might not actually kill Sasuke. But he might actually do kill Sasuke, because who knows, Momoshiki might regain consciousness. But yeah, I think Sasuke will die, and most likely. And Naruto, after that, Naruto might die as well. But he might just get sent to another dimension by either Kawaki or Boruto. And Borushiki is going to implant the Karma Seal on Kawaki. That's what I see happening in the next chapter of Boruto. That's my official prediction for chapter 54. And yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. If I got some more stuff I gotta add, I might add it either in this video or probably either another video. Probably even another video. Anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say. I know this was a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please click that like button and click the channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. And drop a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of the video and my predictions. And last but certainly not least, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And with that being said, I don't know. Maybe Kashi and Koji might get involved in the next chapter, because I don't know. He might come in because right now he's in Mount Miyaboku. But yeah, Kashi and Koji might get involved. Well, actually, no. He would actually need to know where that dimension is. My bad. Kashi and Koji might not get involved, because he would actually need to know where that dimension is. As far as Code go, I don't think Code is going to be able to travel to that dimension either. But anyways, with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.